BBC Radio Lincolnshire, your radio station for your county.
Lots to come. Former X Factor winner Joe McElderry, my guest this afternoon. But in the next hour, between 1 and 2, an hour of oldies. It's hits and headlines on the way. The time now, though, is 1 o'clock. So many people getting in touch saying, how can I listen to the interview if they're not listening in Lincolnshire? And also, Paula emailing, thanks for the info. I recently saw him at Whitley Bay, because he's a Geordie lad, isn't he? And I'll be going to Cannock on the 4th as well to see him. So what a following. Joe McElderry, my guest, after 2. He won X Factor. He must be good. His name's Joe McElderry. He's my guest this half hour. Now, former X Factor winner Joe McElderry is back on the road with a brand new show following the sellout success, you may recall, of his nationwide tour last year. Well, this year's show features new songs and routines and, delighted to say, includes a date at the Embassy Theatre in Skegness on Saturday, the 6th of June. So, does it seem that long ago since his X Factor success?
No, I mean, it does in some senses, I think, but when I actually look back on what I've done, I've crammed quite a lot into 5 years, so it's gone quite fast. I just feel a lot older. I feel like I've grown up a lot. That's the most thing I've noticed.
How's life been for you, though, seriously?
It's been brilliant, you know. I've, obviously I'm still lucky enough to be doing what I'm doing 5 years down the line, releasing music, recording, touring at the minute, obviously, which is coming down your neck of the woods soon, and it's been a really, really, I mean, you know, it's a strange industry to get used to, but I just take it with a pinch of salt, and I just enjoy it for what it is, and all I ever wanted to do was sing, so as long as I can do that, I'm happy.
When you look back, Joe, what can you remember about that time of your life? Is it just a blur, or can you vividly remember every moment of it?
I remember being very naive. Not in a bad way, but I remember being very naive and just kind of like, oh my God, what, like, oh my God moments all the time.
Naive in what way?
Well, I just think I was very excited by it all, which was right. I think I was able to enjoy the experience more than maybe somebody who was a little bit older than me. Nobody in particular, I mean, I just mean that in general. But because I was kind of just like, oh my God, I'm in the X Factor studio, I'm doing this TV show, it's what I've watched since being a kid. It was that kind of excitement, which I think almost took a little bit of the stress away, which at that point in time I definitely needed.
How did it affect you personally?
Well, I mean, my whole life was obviously changed, and still is now, you know. It changed 5 years ago, and I mean, there's still certain things that happen on a daily basis, you know. Even things like just walking down the street and getting recognised is a really big, like, thing to get used to, and you know, people knowing a lot about your personal life. I mean, I'm not so bothered about that now because I understand it's part of my job, but when I first came into the show, it was quite an adjustment to get used to, so it completely changed my life. But I don't want to sit and complain about it because it changed my life for an amazing way, and I've obviously had a fantastic career off the back of it. And
you've gone on to, well, you like the reality show stuff, don't you? Pop star to opera stars, the skiing theme reality show, The Jump. Just how much fun was it doing those as well?
Yeah, they're great. You know, I love doing them kind of shows because I think you get to kind of show a different side of your personality. And also, I think it's fun for people to see you trying a different skill, you know, and being pushed out of you. I mean, the British public love a person on TV being pushed out of their comfort zones, don't we? It's quite fascinating to see people being tortured on TV, I think, on the top of a mountain on skis. But yeah, I've loved doing them, and The Jump was like hilariously brilliant. It was very painful, and I had bruises all over. But again, I love doing sports. I love fitness and exercise, so it was a great thing to be a part of.
How much, looking back, has it all changed you as a person, do you think?
I think I've matured a lot, and obviously I had to grow up really quickly. But I suppose I've had a lot of experience in kind of young years where you probably wouldn't have that experience, you know. I see a lot of my friends who I'm still really close to, and when I look at what I've experienced at such a young age, and they they're at college, you know, and that's what I would have been doing. So it has it's I suppose forced us to experience some pretty crazy things.
I'm guessing it is a pretty impressionable time of your life as well. Who do you look to for support at that time?
Well, I'm really I've got a really close knit group of friends and family as well. You know, my mum, dad, grandmas, aunties, uncles, and we're all very, very close, and they come out on the road with us when I'm touring and stuff and help out, and just, you know, just kind of, they've got me back, you know, and I've got a great management team that look after us as well, which is one of the most important things to find, I think, in this industry.
You're bringing the Evolution Tour to Skegness. We're looking forward to it. Tell us about it.
The Evolution Tour is all about where I've been from X Factor. It's a little bit of a kind of storyboard through me songs, through the album. So we start right at the beginning of X Factor, and it kind of, all of the arrangements of the songs have been modernised and changed, and we do some new material as well. But it kind of takes you on a little bit of a, I hate using the word journey, but I can't think of another word to use.
Go on, use it. It's all right, you don't mind.
It takes you on a little bit of a musical journey from the beginning to where I am now. We finished the show with a bit of new material as well, which is nice. So you get the pop, the opera, and with little story clips along the way.
Do you get to do a bit of dancing as well? Because they tell me you're a bit of a frustrated dancer.
Yeah, what I do with the show is I split the show into like sections. So there's a huge section of obviously the ballads and the slow stuff and the classical stuff, and then I have a big pop up-tempo section where it's really all about the audience, just involving the audience participation, singing along. We do a really fun thing in the show where it's 10 minutes of the show is completely unrehearsed, and we basically turn the lights up in the venue, and the audience put their hands up and just shout out songs, and me and the band busk it for 10 minutes.
Lots of fun, I think.
Yeah, I mean, some of the suggestions are absolutely hilarious.
What are some of those suggestions then?
Well, you can have anything. We had, where were we last week? We were in Wolverhampton last week, and we had Cotton Eye Joe. I've had Dancing Queen, ABBA. I get Ness and Doma, Happy Birthday. It goes from Elton John, anything. They can suggest basically any song, and if I know any kind of words to it, I'll do it, and I make up the words as well. And the band busk it. It's a really fun part of the show.
Oh, well done you. And when those lights go up and you see the audience, who is your audience? What sort of age group?
It's great, actually, because I think doing obviously the different reality shows, I've kind of attracted all different like walks of people, you know. So you look out and there's young people, there's old people, there's middle-aged people, there's a real mix of men, women, kids, teenagers, which is really nice. It's quite a family audience, I would say. Of a mixture, and I really, there's something about seeing families coming to see a show. I quite like that a daughter's with her mother to come and see a show, or something like that, you know, or a dad's brought his son along. I really like things like that. It makes us feel nice.
Go on then, final chance to really sell it to us when you come to Skegness.
Well, just come along. It's a fun show, and if you do come along, I'll make it the best show that's ever been to Skegness. No, I'm kidding.
So go on, nice guy, isn't he? Go along, hold him to that. Joe McElderry, he's at the Embassy Theatre in Skegness on Saturday, June the 6th. Start time 7:30.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming.